Hello, Gene Schwimmer here. Welcome to today's vlog. Some of you may have noticed that there's a vacancy on the Supreme Court. Well, let me just get serious for a second. Of course, I'm sorry that Ruth Bader Ginsburg has died. On the other hand, she was 87 years old, and she did have the option of retiring and enjoying her last few remaining years. It was a choice that she made to stay on the court. I have to say that as much as, well, what I did like about Ruth Bader Ginsburg was the respect that she showed to people who disagreed with her. You don't see a lot of that these days, especially her friendship with Scalia. If you didn't know, they were very close friends. The Ginsburgs would spend Christmas Eve with the Scalias every year. It was a tradition that they had. They were very close friends. She said that Scalia was her best friend on the court. I wish we could see a lot more of that, but all that said, I thought she was a terrible Supreme Court justice. I do not regret at all her being off the court. What I do regret is what we're going to see now going forward, the just reactions of our liberal friends. They have really been, well, I was going to say reacting strongly, but that's really putting it mildly. They are openly threatening, and that's what I want to get to. The main subject is going to be what is in the title, that there is a big question, actually two big questions that we need to answer about this Supreme Court nomination and the whole process going forward. And, and by the way, Mitch McConnell said today there was a question about whether there would be time to hold a vote before the election, and he said that there would be time. He's saying that there will be a vote. It will be not before the end of the current presidential term, but before the election on November 3rd. So the question will be, this is not the big question I'm talking about, but the question will be, will there be enough Republican senators to vote for it? As you may know, there are 53 Republican senators in the Senate. I am pretty sure that no Democrats are going to vote for the nominee. If it's a 50-50 tie, then Vice President Pence can vote, but McConnell cannot afford to lose very many Republican votes. It's going to be a real nail-biter, I think, to see whether he's going to have the votes. I suspect that he does if he's promising the vote right now. But there are a lot of vulnerable Republican senators. We're just going to have to see. As I said, it could be, it's looking like it very well may be a real nail-biter. Definitely it's going to be very close. I think a lot is going to depend on the hearings. Well, first of all, if, as I expect, the nominee is very qualified, it's going to be hard, I would think, for the Republicans to vote against. But then there is also the factor of how the Democrats will act. If they are going to be really mean, if they're going to treat the nominee the way they treated Brett Kavanaugh, then I could see that angering some on-the-fence Republican senators and getting them off the fence and getting them to vote for the nominee. Again, I said it twice. I guess I'll say it a third time. I think I said it twice. My aging brain, maybe I lost count. But as I said, at least twice, put it that way, a real nail-biter. But I want to get to how our liberal Democratic friends are acting up to this point. Oh, you know what? I have to add an aside here because I just remembered something I just wanted to mention briefly. The comments section. As I've said in the past, I try to leave the comments alone. I don't reply to any unless I see a real factual error or if I see something that I want to talk about, if I get inspired to talk about something. But there was another reason, it looks like, because I muted some comments today. And the reason I did is not because you disagreed with me, the person that I'm talking about, if you're watching this vlog. It's not because you disagreed with me. I assume you disagreed with me based on the contents of your comments. There were 4 of them, I think 4 or 5, I think 4. The reason I deleted was because each of those comments, and you could have put it all in one comment, but all they were hashtags. You put hashtags to some Twitter feeds, and I deleted it on that basis, not because of what the hashtags were, but because that's all you did. You just put in some hashtags. You didn't have any comments. You didn't write anything. Nothing that another commenter could respond to, even though I don't habitually reply to comments. I do want to encourage others, but I get this every so often. I get either, well, this is the first time I just got a hashtag, but I'll get somebody advertising a cause, something unrelated to what was in the vlog, just using my comments section as a means of advertising some other cause. Maybe someday I'll get so many comments that I won't have time and won't be worth the effort to go through all the comments and delete those kind of things. But this is an early stage where I don't get many comments, so that's why I deleted it, and I will delete as long as I can. If you want your comments to stay, then put more than just a hashtag. Take a moment to write something that would add to the conversation and that other people would find of value. That was the aside. Now back to the Supreme Court and the reactions of our liberal friends. What are they? Well, it's kind of interesting because they're saying, Chuck Schumer said, he said everything is on the table, and I have to wonder what more could be on the table than already is. They said that if a nominee is confirmed to the Supreme Court before the election, that they will riot. What they really mean is they will just keep going with the riots that they are already doing. And as I said in an earlier vlog, I am sure these riots will just be in liberal cities. They'll just destroy their own cities even more. It's, you know, if you want to do that, that's okay. It would have bothered me when I lived in New York. Well, it's not okay. People would be hurt. But the point I was going to make is that I used to live in New York. I've said this in the past. That would have really affected me. Now, though it bothers me because I live in Tennessee, it's a bothering that is a bothering from a distance. It no longer affects me. If you want to destroy your own city, then you'll have to destroy your own city. And as another aside, just very briefly, the Attorney General, Bill Barr, just designated these cities, some of them, Portland definitely, I think Seattle, I forget the exact cities, but designated them as insurrection cities. Apparently under the law, there is a law by which he can do that and deny federal funding to these cities. So they have another think to have. These mayors and these city councils in these cities, the prospect of having federal funds withheld. The basis for withholding them is that they are, as Bill Barr said, insurrection cities, meaning that they are not enforcing the law, that they are telling their police forces not to enforce the law, and in some cases reducing their funding. If not, well, they say defund the police. I don't think any police force has been completely defunded yet, but reducing their funding. In other words, not doing their job to protect the public. So we have these riots ongoing. So that is their threat, just to keep rioting. They're doing that anyways. And the threat to pack the Supreme Court, I don't think they would have enough Democratic votes in the Senate to do that. I just don't think that's going anywhere. So that is an empty threat. I'm not going to go through the whole list. I'm not going to just give you a litany of all the things that Democrats are threatening to do. I am going to pose my two big questions, which are, some of these Democrats are so angry. I have number one question of the two is, can they get any angrier? And question number two, can they get any crazier? Can they get any angrier and any crazier than they already are? This video will answer the question. Watch.
Holy shit, you guys! I'm driving in a car, but I just got a notification that Ruth Bader Ginsburg died! Could this year get any worse? Ruth, you just had to make it to 2021!
The two questions that I had were, one, can the Democrats get any angrier than they already are? Question two, can the Democrats, or at least the far left, the more liberal of our Democratic friends, get any crazier than they already are? Based on what you just saw, I would have to say that the answer to both of those questions is yes. And I hope you will answer my question that I'm going to ask now with a yes. My question is, could you give me a thumbs up if you like this video? Share it with anybody you think would also like the video. Got any questions? You can put them in the, it's a comment section, so you can put any comments in the comments section, obviously. And questions, suggestions for future topics. You could subscribe. I love getting new subscribers. Most of all, thanks for spending some of your time with me. Again, I really appreciate your taking some of your valuable time to spend with me. I hope I made that time spent that you can never get back, because none of us lives forever, though I am trying. So far, so good. I'm trying to live forever. I'm still alive, so far, so good. But I especially want to see all of you again. I would love to see all of you again. And until I do see all of you again, bye.